Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between Plays Stock Market Strategies. With us today, we have crypto with Alex. Alex, how you doing, man?
Amazing, Al.
Hey, listen, Al. We were talking about a few different things, and naturally, we on our own personal time, it can go from talking about the markets in general and crypto and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you and I can get off on a tangent when we're talking. It's just we can see 5 hours go by in like we think it's like 5 minutes. But
Crazy.
but that's great. That's great. Makes for a great conversation. But I know now what we're going to be adding to the show, which I really like your idea, by the way, that we go over basically we expose the week, right? We expose the week. So what do you have for us today? What did you want to look at when it comes to the week? I think you have a share screen to put up.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to show you what's going on. So we're around noon today. We're Monday. And I just want to show basically what's going on with the overall market. And what I found really fascinating, because I really like to compare mostly NASDAQ to Bitcoin, which is the number one cryptocurrency to follow, the leading indicator. And look at NASDAQ for today is up 3.2%. Okay. Which, it's a good day. It's a good day. When you look at crypto, though, what I find absolutely fascinating, you look at Bitcoin. I mean, it's up 1.44, 1.2. There you go. 1.2%, Ethereum 2%. And that is huge because usually they're going to switch to a graph and explain the graph basically those that can't see it. Is you usually see this in the history of crypto is basically a Bitcoin is a hedge, right? It's like playing the stocks, but on steroids, if you wish.
Okay.
You see in 1 year time, you see the Nasdaq is down 26%, and you have Bitcoin that's down to 68 or 69%. Okay,
All
but
right.
what I find absolutely fascinating about this is ever since the low in mid September, not September, sorry, of this summer, you can see how Bitcoin is just absolutely basing. It's going sideways like there's no tomorrow. It's acting like a bond or something. It doesn't make any sense. And then you look at the Nasdaq. It's on a roller coaster, right? Coaster ride. It's up, it's down, a lot more than crypto are. So, which I find absolutely fascinating. It tells a lot about what's going on with the market. I think it's maturing, and yeah, I find it really exciting to see where it's going.
Yeah, I could definitely see by that graph that we're going sideways now. I mean, do you think that's because of the whole Ukraine situation, or is it just everything together, just the markets and everything like that?
So basically, I think what's going on is obviously the market's up and down because of Ukraine and the whole nine yards and everything else that's going on. But I really think that this is I want to talk about this is directly from the actual site of BNY Mellon, which is obviously a huge bank, investment bank, also in the United States and around the world. And it basically says this is from October 11th, 2022. I'm going to read it directly from their site. It says BNY Mellon today announces that its digital asset custody platform is live in the US with its select clients now able to hold and transfer Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's huge, right? Because what's going on is that these big boys are buying assets, Bitcoin, they're buying them Ethereum off of the markets, off the second exchanges, if you wish, not the main exchanges like the usual exchanges that we have for stocks, but they're buying on Coinbase or buying on Kraken and so on, and they're eating up that all of those cryptos and then selling it to their clients, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing this basing, right, forming. So when it goes down, they're buying up. When it goes down, they're buying up, and it's creating more of a stability. Okay,
I see
and
what
they're
you're
holding
saying.
on to their Bitcoin and their Ethereum. They're not selling it on the market. So that's why one of the reasons.
So, I just wanted to go on this, you know, on this blog report from BNY Mellon. So this is on BNY Mellon's actual
Yeah,
page,
yeah, yeah,
bnymellon.com. So
yeah.
they are stating, and I guess this is in the investor relations section of BNY Mellon. So dated New York, October 11th of 2022. What I really like on here is on the second paragraph. As America's oldest bank, BNY Mellon has a 238-year legacy of trust. That's huge. Resilience and innovation. 238 years. Now, in this spirit, BNY Mellon formed an enterprise digital assets unit in 2021. So they formed this in 2021. I mean, did they tell anybody? Anyways, they formed it in 2021 to develop solutions for digital asset technology with plans to launch the industry's first multi-asset platform that bridges digital and traditional asset custody. That's pretty huge. I mean, we're onto something here that all the naysayers or the ones that had doubt, like myself, for many, like for a decade, all right, it looks like they're definitely moving into a new era. But I think that it's interesting here that you were gonna say it's not only these people, there's other people as well. I think that leads me to your 13 crypto friendly banks.
Yeah, so there's the next part here, but they're talking about a whole bunch of banks, that have been trying to give exposure to the clients, but the big difference between why the BNY thing is so big compared to the what happened in the past is if I look at Bank of America, which is third on the list of on this site here, creditdonkey.com. Uh, Bank of America Bank of America here, I'm going to read directly from their site. Bank of America customers can invest in ETFs, right, that provide exposure to the cryptocurrency market, which is a big difference between actually owning the Ethereum or the Bitcoin itself. Buying for exposure for them basically it means buying Tesla because Tesla has some Bitcoin, or buying a PayPal because PayPal has some Bitcoin. It's not the actual owning the Bitcoin itself, or the ETF. So it's not, and it's not bringing in like we showed on the graph here. It's not bringing in a lot of institutions that are taking this off of the market, taking these Bitcoins and these Ethereums off the market and into cold wallets, giving more stability to the market. That's what's important. You
And
need
a
you
lot of
need
people,
big money to buy the assets itself and to hold on to it.
yeah, that's true, especially at the prices that they're at now.
Yep, yep. And
And
so you diminish the volatility a bit.
you were saying that you believe that because of this, the more stability, that people may be looking more towards Bitcoin, let's just say, to look at it more as a trading hedge instead of going into the more complicated stuff.
Yeah, yeah, but just because of people are trying to get more alpha, right? Getting more money. Options, you can be right. If let's say you trade options, you can be right about what's going to happen if it's going to go up and down, but you just got the timing just a little bit off, right? And you can lose your investment.
It's
Um,
true.
so I think it's just people are just buying it off, buying Bitcoin. Listen, I think let's say, oh, I think Nasdaq's going up 25% this year. Well, why not buy Bitcoin? If Nasdaq goes up 25%, Bitcoin's going to go 100%, right? Or it was a easy trade in that way.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And I find interesting is that, you know, like a skeptic, I've been a skeptic for so long. And of course, yeah, look, I regret it. I mean, I'm not gonna, this is, always gonna be as honest as possible on the show, and honest as possible. I mean, because I just don't want, I don't want to tell people like, what size my waist is and stuff like that. But especially after 2 years of COVID, anyway. But I sound, anyways, whatever. Point is that look, for like a decade, I've been a skeptic of cryptocurrencies. I did want to go into it at one point around 2016 or something like that, and I found it very hard to buy back then. Then I would have picked up, but I mean, naturally, it's not what I should have picked up in the very beginning. We've mentioned that millions of times on the show. But my point is that a lot of other people said, you know what, this is the way to go. And they did everything right. And they even started businesses to be able to trade these types of assets and stuff because they wanted to beat the banks. They wanted to get ahead of the curve. Um, is this a fact? Have we seen these type of situations?
Okay, I just wanted to, yeah, yes, and I also want to touch up on what you just said. You know, you wanted to buy some in 2016.
Yes.
It was actually not that easy. You know,
Hell no.
and you can, you know, all that whole thing of, oh, you have to remember all those numbers or the
And
passcode,
trust.
trust. You can lose it off the exchanges. I mean, it's a wild, wild west, and we've talked about that in the past in the other videos. So it wasn't that easy, first of all. And now it's getting a lot easier in Canada. Here, it's way easier. I mean, we can buy it directly on an ETF. We talked about that in the past. In the United States, not so much.
Yeah.
So, and it's we've talked. I don't know if we talked about this, but the more money you have, right? Like the institutions, what if they have to move money? It's like moving a cargo ship, you know, compared to us, which is like a tiny little ship that can be moved around a lot easier. So them to move their money around, they need facility, and they need people to give them the green light. Okay, and that's why stuff like BNY Mellon and then Goldman Sachs that gives the green light to selected. I don't know if you saw that in the actual memo there from BNY, selected clients, right? Not everyone,
Yes.
because
No.
I think what's going on is that there's some banks, you know, you talked about some people trying to be ahead of the curve, opening their own banks. I think what's going on right now is it's really important to talk about is that the big banks want to be ahead of the other banks, right? And I'm not the one saying that. I mean, look at here, Digital Asset Bank Custodia files a petition in U.S. court over BNY Mellon's crypto approval. So Custodia alleges that Kansas City Federal Reserve Board of Governors showed favoritism over approval delays, giving BNY Mellon a green light, you know, compared to them. I see a picture here of the person that is a representative of Caitlin Long.
What's that person's name? It's
Caitlin Long.
Caitlin Long
Yeah.
from Custodia Bank. So,
Yeah.
so she basically launched. Let's look at the article a little bit.
Yep.
See what
Absolutely.
the article is saying here. So basically, Digital Assets Bank, Custodia Bank, has filed a petition in U.S. court in Wyoming over what it calls favoritism and a lack of respect by the board of directors of the Kansas City Fed in allowing BNY Mellon to engage in crypto custody, but not granting custodia approval for a Fed master account. So basically, Custodia was known as Avanti Bank, said it was been waiting for 19 months to hear back from the Fed on its approval for a master account. So master accounts would allow for Custodia to deposit funds with the Fed and be connected directly to the global financial system. By virtue of being a well-established bank, BNY would have a master account with the Fed. The bank announced on Tuesday would allow certain institutional clients access to new service. So, I mean, look, it looks like it's gonna go to the court,
That could
and
take a while.
that could, and look, we know how that sector plays out real well, and when things go to courts, I mean, you could be waiting, you could be waiting for a trial date for
Months.
a while, yeah, a long time, right? And then once you get your trial dates, then there's another trial date and another trial date until things actually become resolved. You could look at years. Um, you could put this through red tape, because now we're not only looking, it's not, we're looking at civil matters too. So business civil matters, like this can go on for a heck of a long time.
Look at the
Uh,
XRP case.
yeah, exactly. So then, a person, let's just say that, sorry about that. I was just watching something, but a person that's, let's say, waiting for an outcome, all that time that they're waiting, well, they lose advantage, of course. So it's really tough to be in that position, especially after be waiting 19 months.
Yeah,
It's,
absolutely. And I think in their case, they don't care if they win or lose. The time is the most important thing. So if they can have the first dibs, if you wish, on what's going on, then they already won.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
So
But
that's why I
that's
think that it's super important. And one thing that, it's just me, right? Not financial advice, obviously, but my prediction for the next few years is, within the going into the next cycle, is, I really think that what happened in Canada is what's going to happen here. It's going to happen in the U.S. and outside the world, is that the top of the market in Bitcoin came when, pretty close, when the Canadian ETF came out, right? And I think what's going to happen is that all the big boys are buying this stuff, right? They're accumulating, and then when the other banks can get in, it's going to be, the price is already going to have gone up. And then when the American ETF comes in, and then the normal people, if you wish, quote unquote, can buy on normal systems, right? Like you
yeah,
would,
normal
they insist.
meaning civilians like us.
Yes, exactly. And the normal exchanges, where you buy your stocks, it's already going to be too late.
Yeah.
And the price is
Isn't it
already
like
going to
that all
have
the time?
gone. Sorry about that?
Isn't it like that all the time?
Absolutely. 100%.
That
That's the
then
game,
this,
right?
yeah, then this is exactly why, built this show, and we built all of this because, you see this over all the years, that by the time any kind of articles come out, I mean, if because look, uh, in general, this is what we're talking about and in the markets. Okay. So by the time an article comes out that's extremely favorable, if you haven't done the research and looked at the graph and you go with FOMO, you're probably getting in at the top.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Look at what happened last time when it was at 69,000. It's going to 100,000. It's going to 200,000 minimum. Forget about 69. Just go around the YouTube. Go around YouTube. Look at all the people what they were saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go. It's going higher. It's going higher. And they're all,
Sounds like
it's
that
FOMO.
for sounds like that for everything. So I mean that's why I tell people, when you see like a newspaper article, like newspaper, my god, there's my age. When you see some you know, why don't we go to the bookstore and buy, or the magazine store and buy some magazines, the New York Times, like what the hell? But I don't know where that came out of. But so maybe because I'm wearing the glasses. I don't know. But look, the point is this: when you're reading anything off the internet or wherever, and you see an article that's favorable, whether it's on a stock market, a company, a publicly traded company, whether it's like even in crypto, I guess, the louder you're hearing people scream, you should ask yourself, let me step back, zoom out when in doubt. Zoom out when in doubt. You hear people screaming, get in, we're going up, get in. Zoom out when in doubt. And then take a good look. Was there money coming in the week before? Did this thing already go up? Do some research, because or else we can be, we can get into heavy waters, and then we're the ones holding the bag, right? You don't want to be holding the bag.
There's also the famous Twitter research, right?
Famous Twitter research.
Yeah,
What are you
absolutely.
talking about?
Go on Twitter. Follow the people. Okay, you follow the people that are into crypto. Okay, and you look at how they're feeling. And then sometimes have all those big YouTube people or crypto people that are on Twitter. They're doing these polls, you know. And then when it comes, where's BTC going? Yeah, it's going to 200,000 for sure, 100%. Well, you're 100% sure that you're pretty at the top right there.
Yeah,
So
no,
if you the other way around works as well, right? So if your people, you have a whole bunch of people saying it's going to 3,000 for sure, 100%. Maybe we might be close to the bottom here.
yeah. Well, that's why you have to do research, because even if you're down at the bottom, if you zoom out again and you look, maybe 7 months ago it was so high, and the person screaming the loudest is the person that's holding the bag now,
Oh yeah,
hoping that
absolutely.
you can get in to make that stock go up so they can get out.
Yeah, they
You
want
know,
to sell it to you, right?
they
So
want to get out so bad.
and that's why BNY is doing right now. They're filling up their bags,
Yeah, well, they
right? That's
see.
what they're doing.
Yeah,
They're slowly filling it up so that eventually, when stuff like the ETF and everything happens, right? They're going to be selling that stuff. Hey, you want some? Here, have some. Here, have some. Here, you can
Yeah.
have it. 60, 70,000, 100,000 US. Here, I'll sell it to you. There you go.
So
That's what they're doing.
so basically, when we look at, you know, BNY Mellon, when we look at all these other companies and banks that are, because, you know, there was a list of 13 different banks that were there. I mean, the last time I ever heard that 13 banks were involved in some form, shape, or form to sell or buy Bitcoin was, let me see, never.
No.
It was never.
And you and I have been waiting a long time for this to happen.
Yeah.
Because we've always thought, yeah, this is shady, this stuff, where's it going? I mean, it's just a bunch
Yeah.
of people with a code, in their computer, solving a math quiz. What the hell is that, But
Yeah.
now a lot of people that are really smart, that have got a lot of money, they're into this now.
Well, because you know what I think, and I guess this was, you know, this goes into the whole conclusion part of the show, um, is because no one really thought about what was the end game and what is the end game. Like, you know, I was going to ask you the question, where do you believe, you know, this is going, you know? And I think that we agree that it's a conversion of eras.
Yeah,
It's just,
100%.
it's a conversion of eras where, you know, I think that people that are still skeptical on Bitcoin and stuff like that is because we're they, you know, it's like when you're selling a stocks, like we're just talking about right now. Okay, the one screaming the loudest and whatever, but you have to also look for the quiet approach, because that's what's happening here. It's the quiet approach. They don't want, you know, all the people to get in, you know, at, you know, the bottom, and then have a whole brand new set of millionaires, right? It's a big club and you're not invited. It was George Carlin that said that, right?
Absolutely. And that's, you're bringing up a good point. And, I said at the beginning of the show, I think it's basing and whatnot. The real question is, how low do they want it to go?
That's a
And
good
I
question.
think personally, actually, I'm hoping
Yeah.
it actually goes down even more.
1 cent.
No, don't
Why
go
not?
crazy here. Don't
We
go
buy it all.
crazy.
We buy it all up, so it goes back up again.
No. Forget about, if it goes 1 cent, it's over.
Yeah. Go.
No, forget about it. But no, I'm thinking 12K,
Yeah.
10K would be 10K is so important. The just a psychological number, and
Oh
it's
yeah. It's of course
important.
it's a
But
point, right?
I
Point in
really
time.
don't think the next wave up is going to be as high as people think. The only thing that I have to say is the potential of profit has to do with how low it's going to go. So if it goes like to 3,000, 5,000, it's going to go up back to the all-time high minimum for the
Well,
next one. I'm pretty sure about it. But if it goes from 3K to 69K, it's a lot better than going from 20K to 69K.
you know, and I agree with you, because the thing is that um, I think it's a year ago where I was on a show, and it's a public video out there, that I was saying that I don't believe that COVID was the crash that everybody in the financial markets was talking about when it
No,
came to the debt and everything like that. And I had said that it hasn't happened yet.
right.
And I had said that the TSX would probably drop down to 16,000 points. And I said that between 21 and 22,000 points is where we would see that decline start. And it teeter tottered around there for a long time. And I do believe that we might be going down to the 16,000 points still. And I do believe that in 2023, we will have even a worse year than now. All right. And I'm putting it out there. But that just doesn't imply, and let me tell you, you know, I really think that if we have too many recessionary quarters, that if it'll go between below the 16,000 points, that we may be heading into a depression. It's highly possible. And in 2023, at the same time as the market goes down, I really think that crypto will follow that. So your 12,000
Absolutely, 100%.
your 12,000 sounds like an absolutely reasonable number. I don't see anything good for 2023.
I think it's time to jump on the time traveling machine and go back in 2008, 2009 and rethink, man, if I was there then, what would I do as a move? Because we're about to relive it. You know, we're about to relive that huge recession of 07, 08, and
Yeah.
then finally the market bottom of 09. I think we're in it. I 100% believe what you said about the whole COVID thing. I think I actually think that the COVID, because of all this money that was printed in the system, it's actually going to make it worse than it was in 08.
Yes.
And is it going to go down to those levels back then? Yeah, maybe. But I think the drop is just going to be stronger than it was in percentage wise.
Yeah. And the only thing that I see that, you know, will probably help is 2024 elections. Listen, I don't care. We're not, we don't talk politics here. We don't want to dwell into that, but politics and all these types of things play into the psyche of the market. All right. So we're looking at the psyche of the market here. With everything that's going on, I think that we may see um, that the market will probably start creeping up in 2024 just on the fact that there is an election, and I'm not calling for change or anything like that. I'm just saying that the fact that there's an election, you're going to see, like, the American people all, like, because right now, the American people, when they feel like they have an adversary, they come together, right? That's their history. They're very strong. So the thing is that we might see this in 2024. But let me tell you, I think that 2023 is going to be horrible. And to quote, and I'm actually going to be doing a video on this on my own. I'm going to be going over the history of stuff, but to sort of paraphrase, not quote, one of the Rothschilds, which I'll have up in my show later. Um, if there's blood in the water, even if it's your own, buy. So I got blood in. There's I'm leaking out everywhere right now. Okay, but let me tell you, in 2023, I'm waiting for 2023, and when I see that the market's down, I'm going to be picking up staple stocks and things like Bitcoin because I think they're going to be at dirt lows.
There's one thing we can't forget is that one of the things that the big changes coming up is US has been dictating everything, right? Everything's a US dollar and whatnot, superpower. But we're seeing, the world being less one superpower and many powers.
Yeah,
And you look at the Hang Seng and you look at the Chinese market, and then you look at the Brazilian market, you look at the um, Indian market. They haven't gone parabolic like this NASDAQ, right? Has to new all-time highs in the whole 9 yards. So that's the beauty about Bitcoin and crypto is that this is worldwide,
yeah.
and its usage is actually even higher in Asia. So let's just say that Nasdaq goes sideways, right? It goes down. It goes eventually goes up, but it doesn't go past its all-time high. Who says that the Chinese one won't go up past its all-time high? The Indian market won't go up past its all-time high, etc., etc. So I think I think that can also bring up crypto and Bitcoin.
Well, as Ray Dalio is calling for, he sees a stagflation in the market. So that's where we could be going. It could be going sideways for a long time, especially if we go back to the eras of, multi powered world dynamics. But, all in all, if we take back the whole show and everything you're talking about, I think that there's a people screaming really high, buy, 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 you know, and then there's the silent where they don't want, a lot of people to get involved, and they're not really saying what's the truth behind. Well, they don't the truth behind it, or they're just not being so open about it. But I think that we're ushering in an era of digital currency, because it's the only way. Even if we have more than one country, that's, if that's what happens, because we never know. We never know. We never know what's going to happen. Maybe it'll make even the United States and NATO even stronger. It's a very big possibility, because they've been doing talks, and you look at it and you're going, whoa, they're really standing together, and you're like, okay. So they're like, stop pushing, stop poking the bear, stop it, cut it out. So we'll see where that goes. But I think that the era of digital currency is coming in. It's just too easy to trade, and it's just the way to go. And everything is technology now. Everything's technology. It's and I actually don't even like. I'm at the point where I don't even like carrying credit cards. I don't. I don't
Yeah,
like
it's
carrying.
true.
I
You,
don't
you can
like
buy on
carrying
your
anything.
phone. I'm addicted to that now.
Me too. It's like, why do we even have, forget about money. I don't even remember what money looks like. Okay. A change? What are you talking about? How old are you? You know what I mean? Like, are you like 200 years old? Because like, I'm not even that young. And when you're talking to me about like cash, okay, it's good to still have, maybe $20 in your pocket in case something happens and you need it to get home or whatever, taxi or something like that. It's okay to carry about a $20 bill, in your, like, in the back of your phone, hidden in your case or something like that,
If
that
the
you'll never
system
see.
crashes or something.
Yeah, it just to get home, basically, to save your butt. You carry $20 inside the back of, you never even see it. It's just hidden in there, right into your case somewhere, but it's there. Thing is, I use my phone for everything. So it's just so obvious that we're heading into a digitized coin era. So I agree with you. I think that 2023 we might be going down to the levels that you're saying about like 12,000, and it's easy to see. I'll be picking up some Bitcoin for sure, and some Ether, and of course, naturally, we're going to be talking about other ones on the show. So I think that's pretty good, man. I don't know. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I think it pretty much goes over what's going on right now. I think even though the future is uncertain, it's pretty certain that the big banks they see this as a new asset class.
Yeah, totally agree with you, man. Totally
Yeah.
agree with you. Can't deny it. It's fact. It's fact that they're involved now.
Yep.
They're involved in something they said they would never be involved in.
Yeah, that's the funny part, isn't it?
Isn't it
That's
funny?
really funny. Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Never say
All right.
never.
Well, you know what, Al? That's going to lead us to our next show, man. So I'd like to say thank you so much for being here once again today. I'll see you next week. For everybody out there, research, prepare, plan, execute, stay strong. And oh, wait a minute. I just want everybody to know that we have our online store now. I don't know, and it's got tons of items, ranging from clothing line to apparel, home decor, and you know, uh, listen, just go to the store. It's betweenplays.myshopify.com. And all right, Alex, see you next week.
Ciao, man.
Ciao, man. Bye. This episode is brought to you by TriStar, West Island, and 360 Punch, where there's something for everyone. 2144 Trans Canada Route, Dorval, Quebec, H9P 2N4. Go to their website for more information. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between Plays Stock Market Strategies. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Head off into our description below if you'd like to know where all of our social media links are, and also the podcast, whether it be Apple or Spotify. We will be doing interviews with CEOs, with analysts, and it's not only on the stock market itself, but also on cryptocurrencies and blockchains. We will have guest speakers. We will be doing panels. You will be able to enjoy a lot of different content. Have a great day, and always remember, research, prepare, plan, execute. Stay strong.